All right, so we're going to talk about the automatic transmission TV cable, or the kickdown cable. This is the one I pulled out of here, but hooks to your kickdown lever. I'll show you this where it goes into the transmission housing. Bolts up right here. This clip right here is on the top of the transmission, which I'll talk about just unclipping that, not taking the whole clip out. And then this twists into your linkage right by your throttle body, and this where it hooks to your throttle body for adjustment. And I'll show you the adjustment. Okay, I'm going to start with this little short video of the actual AOD cable. So at the bottom, this is how it should look on your, where it hooks to the transmission. Bolts up right here, and then this hooks in on the little ball catch. But there's I bought this one from a guy when I thought mine was bad, and hooked it up, it wasn't shifting right. But when I pulled the rubber, this spring, make sure that you have a good spring under here that pushes this back, or else it'll never shift right. Everything will look right, you'll set it right, but it won't work. So make sure you have a good spring in here, and it should be strong enough to push that back, because the cable will still work pushing this way and everything else. On the other end, this is why I bought a new one, because this plastic in here broke. That's not important. As long as that plastic isn't holding it, you're good. The only things you need to make sure you have is that this clip is in good spot. Don't remove it. And then there's a little white, it's hardly white now, but that little white pin right there pushes up, and that's what'll lock it into place. And that's how we're gonna adjust. But this plastic is not that important. Even this spring is not super important, as long as this is gonna latch onto your cable right. So just want to put that first. So when you're replacing your kickdown cable, it hooks up right there. Just pop that out of there. This is the bracket I was telling you about. Just sits in the transmission, and the one bolt you take out. Pull that whole cable out. You drop it down from the bottom here, but you unhook it all at the top. That is the boot I was telling you, to make sure that the spring in it is good, so that it actually pushes that lever back when you let off. So this lever right here should push back to keep the pressure from building on the transmission and making it shift erratically or too hard in like lower acceleration moments. Make sure that spring in there is good. So here's where I'm talking about, with your kickdown cable coming up and hooking to the top of the transmission. Right there, you'll see the cable hooks through that little loop, and there's a bolt that you can actually pull that bolt out, but I recommend just prying that clip open, pulling the cable out, and you can route it around and hook it back up to your throttle body right here. If you do pull that bolt out, it goes all the way through the bell housing into the engine block, which is why I recommend just pulling it out the clip. All right, so here's the adjustment, or how you set it. And I'm gonna show you how they did it from the factory, and then how you can move it to get it like you want. So once you pull this out and out of the little clip, and make sure you have a good grommet right there. LMR sells the little metal one, which I have, but they also sell the plastic one. I have both. I keep the plastic one in the glove box in case this metal one happens to pop off. It's good to have on side of the road. You can throw it in real quick till you get home. As far as the adjustment, once this is pulled off, the little white tab on the bottom, you just push it out. And the way they set it from the factory is, you make sure you have tension pulled here, the plastic, grab the plastic here, and make sure it's just snug. Then you want to push this over this way, push it up in there, about in the center, and push it. And that's locked into place where the factory set it from. So once you get that, you can push this back up into the grommet and take it for a drive, see how you like how it shifts. That's pretty much the basis of how they did it. You do not have to mess with that clip at all. Just leave it in there. Now, what you can do is right here on top, don't know if you can even see it. See if I can zoom in. But on the top, I'm gonna have a little mark where I had mine set. I'm gonna show it to you. See if you can see it. So there's a little bitty mark right there, where I just kind of scratched it in with a knife. That's my setting where I like it. Okay, so I have it right there. So my setting is actually back just a touch from the center that I like it. So that's my setting. So you see how it pulls back. What that does, it just keeps a little bit more tension. Now I'm probably gonna back it off a little, but I'll explain to you why. If you set this thing at the factory settings, it's gonna shift at a certain thing. So this is a factory setting here. You take this and you pull it a little bit extra, and then you set it. Now it's gonna shift later. So if the more you back this way and pull the cable this way, it'll shift later. If you push this thing and set it further down this setting, it's going to shift earlier. I found that if you're just cruising, the factory setting's perfect. But if you're gonna be getting on it some, I like to, and I only back it about 1/8 inch each time. So the little tip of that screwdriver, that much is all I will adjust it at a time. But as long as you got the good spring at the transmission, and you're setting this right. Now this is factory throttle body as well. I had to put a 70mm and it pulled a lot of tension. I didn't have it set right. I put this back on for now. Later I'll change it if I want, but anyway, main thing, middle setting is factory. Anything you pull here and pulls this back, it keeps more tension on that cable. Like mine will actually be pulling here. It gives me just a little bit later shifts. So when I get on it, it'll shift later rather than early. And that's the best thing I could tell you is how to do that. And this is the clip I have from LMR. Like I said, I got the plastic one in the glove compartment, just in case something breaks. I hope this helped.